Every pregnancy needs utmost care and attention. But certain pregnancies need a little extra attention. An RH negative mother carrying an RH positive baby is at increased risk of complications. BSV is at the forefront to ensure safe delivery in every RH negative pregnancy.
Hello and welcome to the Outside View, presented by Women's Cricket Zone and brought to you by BSV, Puma, Food and Wellness, AMELIA Hospitals and MPL. Cricket, they say, is a great leveler. South Africa showed you that today, didn't they? Probably didn't have a very good start with the ball, but then they knew how to finish off things. They have been finding the way out of the maze. That's their story since the last 3 games now. Joining me to discuss the match that has unfolded so far are Julia and Dane, of course. Coming to Dane first, how do you sum up South Africa's bowling today? Didn't have a very good start, but they just know how to do it. Marizanne Kapoor taking those 2 important wickets, Ismail with the ball as well. 1 bowler down they were, but they did the job once again.
Yeah, look, they initially obviously a bit panic stations, but I mean, Shibnam first of all started off really well, getting Susie Bates. That's a massive wicket in any context of any game. So yeah, but I think the partnership between Sophie and AMELIA KERR looked a bit threatening, and I thought, yes, they're going to get a excess of 250 plus, and again, that's why they pay Julia the big bucks. She said she put 230, and somehow they restricted them to that. But no, I think the most impressive thing once again is the South African pace attack. Again, 8 wickets between the 3 of them. Wow, like I'm just talking about Shibnam, Marizanne, and Aya. That again, who's going to counter this attack? I don't know. You know, what a comeback from them, led by obviously Shibnam and Marizanne and Aya. You know, everyone's just following, and yeah, obviously a bit of panic stations. I was a bit nervous there in the middle, especially with Sophie Devine on 93 at the back end there. I thought, wow, this is going to be you know, a bit of a daunting task, but I think New Zealand is below par by at least 20 to 30 runs, in my opinion. So well done to the South African bowlers, and well done to SUNE as well. Just the way she changed the bowlers up, and you know, made sure that the senior bowlers are there at the back end and really striking. So again, I have to give credit where it's due, and I think SUNE did a great job, you know, keeping them and bringing them on the, at the right time.
You mentioned about SUNE's captaincy, but also wanted to know about her bowling today. Did she look a bit more confident today with the ball, or what are your thoughts going on around her bowling today? Dane.
Yeah, I was just glad to see her bowling a little bit more leg spin. You know, the ball, you know, just the ball coming out really nicely. You know, I'm a big fan of her bowling. I've said it many times. I don't need to lie about that. As a captain, I've always fought for her to be in my side, because I think she's a match winner when it comes to her bowling. And yeah, it's just good to see her, you know, rolling her arm and really giving herself the opportunity to bowl. And what better way? We've spoke about it in length, myself and Julia, in the previous games, where we said she just needs a bit of middle time and get that confidence. And today it just looks like she got a little bit of confidence, maybe a little bit expensive than what she wanted to, but again, I'm just glad to see her bowling. 8 overs, I'll take that any day from SUNE. Getting a wicket as well. Small wins, in my opinion. And you know, you're building up to World Cup semi-final and a final, and getting her confident and bowling is just the start of that.
Of course, and it's always about just not giving up. That's what we saw from South Africa. The Pacers, the bowling unit, probably for the first time in the tournament, they were a bit under pressure when Sophie Devine was there on the pitch, but they were probably thinking that what if not a good start, we can end it anyway on a good note, and that's what they did today. Julia, how impressed were you the way South Africa, like New Zealand, were almost beyond 200 by the 42nd over, but probably they had listened to you that we aren't scoring more than 230. Julia said 230. Like, how do you put it up?
I'm not sure, but either way, I thought they did bowl fantastically well. She did keep SUNE did captain. There was a few little interesting moments of just putting people on for one overs here and there, which generally didn't work. Like a few of them, like I've got, like they went for 7, 8, 7, and 7 for their one overs that they came on, and it can be tough on bowlers to do that and bring them on like that. But at the same time, I thought she managed it really well at the back end of it. With her most experienced bowlers coming in where they needed to, and New Zealand lost 6 for 30, so that just shows how lethal the South African attack can be, not just in the power play overs that we discussed in the beginning of the game, but also in the death overs as well. So probably just need to tweak a little bit, and probably didn't help the fact that class went off as well with that injury. But yeah, I think considering that, she did a great job today, and well done to the bowling cartel, the fast bowlers. They did a brilliant job of just keeping the ball up there and challenging the batters constantly.
Definitely. Let's once have a look at the scorecard. We know that New Zealand got to a good start after Susie Bates departed. Amelia KERR and Sophie Devine, of course, stitching in that important partnership for the side, and then Maddie Green and Brooke Halliday there. But after that, the story was all about South Africa's bowling unit. But coming to Sophie Devine, a captain's knock from her, 93. She already has a century to her name. She scored it in the opening game against West Indies. It felt that she wanted to play the attacking game today. Those beautiful shots, especially the one shot that she played of Chloe Troy on the, she played that down the ground, and I was really happy seeing that, and the kind of the positivity that she brought to the field. It was good to see, wasn't it, Danny?
Yeah, look, I think that's Sophie. I don't think it would be weird to see her scoring 60 or 100. So I think that is what Sophie brings, and I think that's why she is world class. She backs her skill, and that's why she's so dangerous as well. It's not great to bowl her when she's in that type of form. I'd know firsthand. But yeah, look, incredible shots. I think when she hit Marizon for 6 there at the back end as well. Well, not the back end, but yeah, she hit Marizon for 6. I thought, oh, Marizon might just call the Scorchers and be like, oh well, I might not come over, Yeah, I thought it was a great battle. But yeah, I think it was a captain's knock. I think for a captain to strike at 90 odd, in I guess that situation where, yeah, maybe not everyone's scoring around you. Yes, great partnership with Amelia KERR. You've got Maddie Green there and stuff. But I think just the fact that a captain can score at that rate still at, going to 93. Yeah, I love watching Sophie bat. Yeah, probably not against us, but I was almost a bit sad for when she went out at 93. I don't know why. I was like, oh well, you did the hard work, you did the groundwork, and I was kind of a bit like disappointed for her. I think just as a cricketer, just watching her going about her work, just anybody would be, if you appreciate an innings like that. So yeah, great innings by a captain. That's what you want from your captain, and she led the charge really well. Again, if she stayed there, well done to Aya, because if she stayed there, 229 would probably not. We would have not spoken about Julia's golden buzzer total.
Well, having that feeling, as you said, that we felt like, yeah, she's got out at 93. That itself tells you a very big story. Even if you're at the opposition, you enjoy that and giving credit where it's due. But the one, the innings that Amelia KERR also played, she's so young, just making a statement out there, fitting in that. Another important player for the New Zealand setup, did the damage she wanted to, look so confident on the field. Julia, how would you sum up her innings today?
Yeah, she looked really confident coming in first ball, just sort of, knew what she needed to do. And she's looking like an old hand. She's only 21, and she, looks like she's about 31 with so many years of experience playing as a bat. And we've only really seen this new Amelia KERR, I suppose, the consistency in her batting, and also going up to number 3 in the past year or so. So I think she's doing a fantastic job. She was probably a little unlucky to get out to the full toss, sweeping it and completely missing it. And there was a few of those today, in fact. But other than that shot, she played beautifully, and has and her game really complements Sophie Devine's as well. Sophie Devine really hits forward of the wicket, and powerful shots. Amelia KERR sort of got the elegant drives and the sort of working behind the wicket and a bit more touch. So between the two of them, it makes it very difficult for the opposition to be constantly changing their plans and their field positions and what are their matchups to the two completely different style batters, but both very, very effective.
Very effective. And then we saw good cameos coming in from Maddie Green and Brooke Halliday as well. So, but the damage was done by the South African bowling unit. They did not allow the lower middle order to just click in and get any more runs for the side. So just having a look at the bowling scorecard as well, we have already discussed the performances, but Shabnim Ismail, just another day at office. Barizan Pap giving you those important 2 wickets, not allowing the team to get any sort of momentum there. And Ayabonga Khaka just being herself, picking up those 3 wickets, and SUNE LUUS, of course, giving you that 1 wicket. But 228 is what South Africa have to chase, and they should be confident with the way they have finished with their bowling, and that should probably reflect in their bat as well. And when we talk about the batting, we just can't look beyond Laura Wolfart at the beginning, because she's been terrific. She's been in terrific form for the side. What's the secret behind her being so good, Dani?
Just the consistency. Yeah, look, I have the privilege of playing alongside her, and at the Big Bash, I had the privilege of actually rooming with her for the first time. We stayed in a little flat together, and I just had the privilege to maybe just speak to her about how she goes about her job, and just seeing how she goes about. She's just incredibly disciplined. She's got a book that she writes in. Something that I've heard about, but I've never seen. She every morning before the game, she writes in her book, and certainly did not read her book because it's obviously confidential, but kind of just asked her what's it about, and she just said, well, she just reminds herself, what she did well and what she's going to do well, and and what she needs to better. And she writes, it's just so interesting to see. And I think if people see that, just outside of what she does on the field, it shows you why she's so successful. She takes the game so seriously. She takes her stats seriously. I laughed at her a couple of times. I would sit with a beer in my hand and I'd be like, well, what's your average? And she'll tell me exactly what's her average, but that shows you the seriousness of how she takes her cricket, and where she wants to go as a cricketer. And no doubt she's going to be the best batter in the world in no time, in my opinion. I've said it many times, and I think it's just a discipline and I think a love for batting. She gets angry when she's out. Like, just take a look when she goes out. She just puts her bat down before she goes into the into the change room. She's very disciplined with that as well. She doesn't want to hurt the bat when she goes out. So she's just an incredible talent. I can't believe that we're lucky enough to have somebody like that.
Coming in from the captain, it's going to be special for Laura Wolfart as well. But probably if South Africa goes to win the World Cup, you might just ask her what does she note down into her diary. Probably would help the upcoming batters in that case. But Mignon du Preez, will talk about the middle order, of course. She's playing her 150th international, one-day international game today, and would want to come and put that good performance, a good impactful performance on the board. She's been an integral part of the side, hasn't looked at her absolute best, but this is a moment for her to just come strong and prove herself, isn't it, Julia?
Yeah, she probably hasn't had the best tournament so far, but even today there was a real intent about her and energy, running around the field, going crazy wherever she was. And, you can see that she's really super focused. She's a professional. She knows what she needs to do. She wouldn't be happy with her form so far and her inability to be able to contribute to the team with the bat. So I think today that she'll, if she gets a chance to bat, I think she'll just take her time a little bit more and probably just be a little bit more patient with spending some time in the middle. We saw it was probably a little difficult to bat on this surface when you initially come out. It's a little slow. It's holding up a little, and you've really got to work your way into your innings. And we can take a lot out of the way that Maddie Green probably batted. Initially, she struggled for a long time. She was really chewing up balls there and slowly started to increase after she'd started to get the timing of the wicket. And obviously, Sophie Devine just waxed them from the start. But I think Mignon can take a bit of heart out of that, knowing that she can, just take her time a little bit and work around the set batters that are through there, which is potentially going to be Laura Wolfart because she's been so good so far in this tournament.
That's good, so good so far in the tournament. So, but of course, we also have a word on Lizelli, probably struggling a tad bit there, but such an important player in the side, and Tasman Brits also for that matter. Both of them kind of trying to find that rhythm, but we always say that it's just about that one innings. And do you seek that inning coming today, Danny? Because how do you deal with those things, not able to perform in the last two games? What's the environment like in the dressing room, addressing a player like Lizelli?
Yeah, look, yeah, Dale. Sorry, we call her Dale, so it's typical. I don't call her Lizelle. I can't. It feels awkward. But yeah, she hasn't played a lot of cricket, has she? And you need to be realistic about that as well. I spoke to Marizon about it yesterday, and I said, "Oh, it's almost like coming off an injury. You kind of want to run. You kind of want to run before you even start crawling. And I think that's the mindset. And look, Lazelle is quality. And I said to Marizon, I think it's around the corner. She's not the ICC ODI cricketer of the year for no reason. She had a great season, and I don't think she lost it at all. I think it's just finding that confidence in the middle. Nets is one thing, but we all know. I mean, Julia can jump in, but playing in a game, it's different. So you have no fear in the nets. But yeah, I think it's around the corner. And speaking to a lot of people actually yesterday, they all keep on asking me about Lizelle, and I just said, listen, she's quality. She's going to come off one way or another. If it's not today, it's going to be the next game. It's just the quality of the batter and the player. I was actually sitting in, the cricket's on here on my right hand side, and they had a feature about Lizelle, with the baby and all those things. And I think, the motivation is different for her as well. She's got a newborn Baba, and yeah, I think the motivation is different as well. So she definitely wants to do well. She definitely wants to come back with a trophy and a medal for that that little boy and her wife. So yeah, I would have loved to listen to her to hear what she said. And yeah, it's just around the corner for a quality cricketer. Julia would know. You can't keep quality quiet. That's a fact.
Round the corner. It's just round the corner. We might just get to see it today as well, and that's why the New Zealand bowlers have to be aware that they have a big challenge in their hand right now. Laura Wolfart is in a very good form, and the players, they South Africa would not want to give up. They have just kind of pulled the win from the last games that they've played. But coming to you, Julia, the coach of the New Zealand setup in a presser said that their plans against Australia weren't wrong. The execution was wrong. Probably what we saw of South Africa today is they did not lead a lot of runs in the death overs. But again, if you talk about the New Zealand bowling, they lead a lot of runs against Australia in the death overs, and that's where entire momentum changes. So the bowling group today, how do you see approaching them this game right now?
Yeah, well, I'd assume they'll do a very similar sort of plan that they did with not opening with Leah Tahuhu. I think they'll again just bring her down as a second change bowler somewhere in the middle there, and just to sort of tighten up their middle order. They haven't been amazing, sort of outside that power play. In fact, a lot of their bowling they're lower down on the stats in against all the other countries, sort of ranking 6, 7, and 8. So they really need to step up there. Jess Kerr's been pretty good, I think. I mean, she challenges the stumps with those in-swingers all the time. And I think Hannah Rowe is going to get better and better as this tournament goes on. She's still pretty new to the group. But to me, I think Amelia Kerr is going to be the one that's going to be causing the few issues, and maybe her in tandem with Leah Tahuhu through that sort of middle area where it can tend to slow down a little bit for the South Africans, and has with the fact that they've been losing a few wickets or chewing up a few balls in that middle order. So to me, yeah, I would be keeping an eye out for Amelia Kerr and that Wrongen, and also Leah Tahuhu and her aggression. We saw that, Ishmael and was banging in a few and bowling some beautiful Yorkers, and I think that's where Leah Tahuhu will be taking some notes as well, as this pitch does have some nice carry in it and a little bit too pace, so it might be a chance of just making it a little tough for the batters, particularly when they're brand new coming into bat.
Definitely, Leah to one to watch out for. But then they have quite a few options in their bowling, 6, 7 probably. So sometimes does it get tricky as a captain to handle it, or it's a good headache to have for one?
I think it's a great headache to have, especially when things aren't going the way you wanted to. You've got people, you can turn to. So I think, yeah, it's just about as a captain knowing when, where, and how. Sometimes you don't have the answers, but you kind of find it when you try and, rotate the bowler. So for me, I think it's a pretty good headache to have. And sometimes you don't have to bowl somebody that you kind of feel might not suit. Um, you know, that wicket. So yeah, 7 bowlers. That's more than enough. Yeah, but I have to agree with Julia. I think Amelia Kerr is gonna be a handful if they can't pick that googly. I know off the back of obviously the conversations I've had with the team, that is something they really look out for. So, if she gets it right and they can't pick it, it can be a handful. And yeah, it's a very good bowling lineup, actually. I just like to see Sophie bowl a little bit more because I think she's very skillful. She swings it out and in by will. And, if you've got somebody doing that, that goes a long way. So, yeah, I'd like to see her bowl a little bit more. But, yeah, they've got enough. They've got enough in their armory to maybe trouble the South African batters. But I think, as we mentioned, Laura Wolford and Lazali for the start is pretty key. And I think Sune's gone really well. I think, yeah, she's key there at the top order as well.
I'll just add to that Sophie Devine has a really good record against Laura Wolvart's got her a couple of times, and she only averages 13 against Sophie. So I think we may see Sophie definitely come on it, maybe as a first change if Laura's still out there. So I'm looking forward to that matchup.
Wow, that's actually really interesting. Yeah, I think with them doing their homework that we saw, probably not against Australia, but the previous game, I think if they do their homework, I'd love to see her come in earlier because, I just love the tactical mindset about it, and I'd be surprised if she does not come in. So thanks, Julia. Yes, that's fine. Come on.
Okay then. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be an intriguing contest to see how South Africa chased it, how New Zealand defended. So, of course, I can't ask Dane, who are you supporting, who's winning? She's going to tell that I am rooting for my team. But, Dane, who do you think is that bowler? Do you think it's still Amelia Kerr or any other pick there who is going to trouble the South African batters?
Yeah, I think Amelia, if she gets it right. I certainly have spoken to Marizan and gave my opinion on maybe how to play her. I'm not gonna lie because obviously I want my team to do well and I want my my teammates to obviously do well. So if she gets it right, she's a difficult bowler to pick. But I think again, my pick for the bowlers, if Sophie comes in, that's my pick for the bowlers because again, she's very skillful. She's got she swings it out, she swings it in by will, as I mentioned, and she's got the slower balls as well. So I'm just gonna go like haywire and say Sophie Devine for me.
Interesting one. And okay, I'll ask you about the winning prediction then. Who do you think is getting to the finish line, Julia? Do you think New Zealand will pull out some stunner, they defend it, or South Africa is getting it?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a bit of a tough chase, but South Africa, this would be pretty much
tough predictions for you. Tough predictions are always slow for you.
Okay, I'm just gonna say New Zealand are gonna win. There you go.
What is going on, Julia? Come on, don't you want South Africa to win once? Just one.
I want South Africa and New Zealand to get through the semis, so we need you guys to lose one. Sorry.
She mentioned in the pre-show, she said that considering South Africa's pace bowling unit, I'm telling that they'll score 230. She had a soft corner there, but she's now supporting New Zealand. That's fair enough. We'll have good content for the post-show, having our 2 experts on the other side of the picture. So it's going to be an interesting chase. Let's see how we get to see the approach of the South African batters and the New Zealand bowlers, what Sophie Devine is bringing to the table with the tactics that she's brought in the tournament so far. The hosts have the pressure of performing, but they wouldn't want to keep that in their mind and just want to play the natural game and just put a good show on display. So you'd stay tuned to Women's Cricket Zone. We'll meet you in the post-match show.